California, once a beacon of hope and opportunity, now faces a mass exodus of its residents. The state that was once synonymous with the American dream is now witnessing a significant shift in its population dynamics. This exodus is not just a fleeting trend but a growing concern that has captured the attention of policymakers, economists, and the general public alike. The Golden State, known for its stunning coastline and innovative spirit, is losing its luster. The allure of Silicon Valley, with its promise of technological advancement and high-paying jobs, is no longer enough to keep people anchored. The urban skylines that once symbolized progress and prosperity now stand as silent witnesses to a changing tide. Families are packing up, businesses are relocating, and the dream of California seems to be fading. The sight of moving trucks has become all too common, and the for lease signs in business districts tell a story of economic struggle. The reasons behind these moves are varied, but they all point to a growing disillusionment with what California has to offer. The statistics are alarming. California's population declined for the third straight year in 2024, with a net loss of over 500,000 residents. This trend is not just a number on a chart, it represents real people making difficult decisions to leave behind their homes, communities, and in many cases, their dreams. The reasons for this exodus are complex, but one thing is clear: the California dream is becoming increasingly unattainable for many. High living costs, housing shortages, and a challenging job market are just a few of the factors contributing to this mass departure. The once crowded highways now see a different kind of traffic, people moving out rather than moving in. This mass departure from the Golden State is not merely a demographic shift, it's a symptom of a deeper malaise. The empty streets and closed storefronts are stark reminders of the economic and social challenges that the state faces. Community meetings are filled with concerned residents discussing the future of their neighborhoods and the state as a whole. The very essence of what attracted generations to California, the promise of a better life, is being eroded by a confluence of factors. Historical footage of California's prosperity stands in sharp contrast to the deteriorating urban areas of today. Families that once enjoyed outdoor activities in the state's beautiful landscapes now find themselves grappling with the harsh realities of modern life. As we delve deeper into the heart of this issue, we'll uncover the harsh realities that are driving individuals and families away from the state they once called home. We'll explore the economic pressures, the housing crisis, and the social challenges that have made it increasingly difficult for people to thrive in California. Through personal stories and expert insights, we'll paint a comprehensive picture of a state on the brink and what it means for the future of the Golden State. For decades, the California dream has beckoned people from all walks of life. The allure of sunshine, opportunity, and a chance to reinvent oneself drew dreamers and strivers alike. From the gold rush to the tech boom, California has always represented a land of possibility, where hard work and determination could pave the way to a brighter future. The images are etched in our collective memory: surfers riding the Pacific waves, entrepreneurs launching groundbreaking companies in Silicon Valley, artists and actors chasing their dreams in Hollywood. Yet the California of today stands in stark contrast to this idyllic image. The dream has become increasingly out of reach for many, as the cost of living skyrockets, wages stagnate, and economic inequality widens. The promise of California remains, but for many, it's a promise deferred, a dream slipping through their fingers. At the heart of California's crisis lies a fundamental human need: housing. This basic necessity has become a distant dream for many, as the state grapples with an unprecedented housing shortage and skyrocketing costs. The cost of housing in California has reached astronomical levels, making it nearly impossible for many to afford a decent place to live. Over the past decade, housing prices have surged, outpacing income growth, and leaving countless residents struggling to keep up. In major cities like San Francisco and Los Angeles, the median home price hovers around $2 million, pushing homeownership out of reach for all but the wealthiest residents. The dream of owning a home has become a distant fantasy for the average Californian, as the gap between wages and housing costs continues to widen. Even renting has become a precarious endeavor, with average rents soaring past $3,000 per month in many areas. The rental market is fiercely competitive, and many families find themselves in bidding wars just to secure a place to live. The high cost of rent forces people to live paycheck to paycheck, with little room for savings or emergencies. This housing crisis has a ripple effect, impacting every facet of life in California. Homelessness has reached alarming levels, with tent cities and makeshift shelters becoming a common sight in urban areas. Families are crammed into small, overcrowded apartments, and public transportation is often packed with commuters traveling long distances to work. Families are forced to make impossible choices between paying rent and putting food on the table. The financial strain is palpable, as parents struggle to provide for their children while keeping a roof over their heads. Food insecurity is on the rise, with many turning to food banks and community resources for assistance. Essential workers, the backbone of California's economy, are priced out of the communities they serve. Nurses, teachers, firefighters, and other critical workers often have to commute long distances, spending hours on the road each day. This not only affects their quality of life but also puts a strain on the state's infrastructure and public services. The lack of affordable housing casts a long shadow, threatening the very fabric of California society. Abandoned homes and neglected neighborhoods are a stark reminder of the crisis, while community protests highlight the growing frustration and demand for change. Children growing up in these environments face numerous challenges, from limited access to quality education to the stress of unstable living conditions. Despite the grim reality, there are efforts underway to address the housing crisis. Innovative housing solutions such as tiny homes and modular construction are being explored. Community meetings and advocacy groups are pushing for policy changes and increased funding for affordable housing projects. The construction of new affordable housing units offers a glimmer of hope, but much more needs to be done to ensure that every Californian has a safe and stable place to call home. The vision for California's future is one where everyone has access to affordable, quality housing, a place where families can thrive, communities can flourish, and the state's diverse population can live in harmony. Achieving this vision will require a concerted effort from government, businesses, and residents alike, but it is a goal worth striving for. The human toll of California's crisis is evident in the stories of those struggling to survive. The faces of despair and determination tell a story that numbers and charts cannot capture. Each individual, each family, represents a unique narrative of hardship and resilience. Meet Sarah, a single mother working 2 jobs to make ends meet in San Jose. She wakes up before dawn and returns home long after the sun is set, her days filled with endless tasks and responsibilities. Despite her tireless efforts, Sarah is constantly worried about making rent and providing for her 2 young children. The weight of her financial burdens is a constant presence, a shadow that looms over every decision she makes. She meticulously budgets every dollar, yet the rising cost of living in the Bay Area makes it nearly impossible to stay afloat. She dreams of a safe and stable home for her family, but that dream seems increasingly distant with each passing month. The hope that once fueled her perseverance is slowly being eroded by the harsh realities of her situation. Sarah often finds herself gazing out the window, wondering if a better future is even possible. Then there's Michael, a retired teacher who can no longer afford to live in the San Fernando Valley where he spent his entire life. His home, filled with memories and mementos of a life well lived, is now a source of anxiety. Michael's fixed income can't keep up with the rising cost of rent, forcing him to consider leaving the state he loves. The thought of leaving behind the community he has been a part of for decades is heartbreaking. He spends his days searching for affordable housing, but options are scarce. The fear of the unknown weighs heavily on him. These are just 2 stories among countless others, representing the human face of California's crisis. Each person in the crowd has a story, a struggle, and a hope for a better tomorrow. The diversity of experiences highlights the widespread nature of the issue, affecting people from all walks of life. Behind the statistics and economic indicators lie real people, struggling to hold on to their homes, their livelihoods, and their dreams. The crisis is not just about numbers, it's about the human spirit and the fight to maintain dignity and hope in the face of adversity. These stories remind us that behind every statistic is a person, a family, and a community striving to survive and thrive despite the odds stacked against them.